What would you do if one day everything you love was taken away by the betrayal of those you trusted? Welcome to this thrilling summary of the Count of Monte Cristo, the masterful work by Alexandre Dumas that immerses us in a story of revenge, redemption, and justice. Before diving into the plot, let's get to know a bit about its creator. Alexandre Dumas, born in France in 1802, is one of the most prominent writers in world literature. Known for his ability to weave stories filled with action, intrigue, and unforgettable characters, Dumas is also the author of other classics such as The Three Musketeers. His literary talent and fascination with adventure make him an extraordinary storyteller, and The Count of Monte Cristo is one of his crowning works. The story begins in 1815 in Marseille, France, when Edmond Dantès, an honest and promising young sailor, is about to marry the beautiful Mercedes and become the captain of a ship. Everything seems perfect, but the envy and ambition of his supposed friends lead him to ruin. Fernand, who desires Mercedes for himself, Danglars, jealous of Edmond's promotion, and Villefort, a corrupt prosecutor seeking to protect a dark personal secret, conspire to falsely accuse him of being a Bonapartist agent. Edmond is arrested on the day of his wedding and sent to the dreaded Château d'If, a prison from which escape seems impossible. During his imprisonment at the Château d'If, Edmond falls into despair, but his luck changes when he meets Abbé Faria, an elderly prisoner considered mad by the guards. Through a tunnel Faria had been digging for years, they meet. Faria becomes his mentor, teaching him history, languages, philosophy, and science, transforming Edmond into a cultured and astute man. Additionally, Faria reveals to him the location of a hidden treasure on the island of Monte Cristo, which could make him immensely wealthy. When Faria dies from illness, Edmond seizes the opportunity to escape. He swaps Faria's body with his own in the burial sack and is thrown into the sea by the guards, believing they are disposing of a corpse. Edmond manages to free himself and swims to freedom. After escaping, Edmond joins a crew of smugglers who take him near the island of Monte Cristo. Taking advantage of an opportunity, he reaches the island and finds the treasure Faria had described, an immense fortune in gold, jewels, and riches. With this financial power, Edmond begins to plan his revenge, adopting the identity of the enigmatic and powerful Count of Monte Cristo. Edmond transforms into the Count of Monte Cristo. Upon returning to Marseille, he saves the Morel family from bankruptcy, though he does not reveal his identity, remaining anonymous. He then spends years studying the past of his enemies to uncover their secrets and use them against them. To set his plan in motion, Monte Cristo infiltrates Parisian society by orchestrating the kidnapping of Alberto Morcerf, the son of his enemy Fernand, and later rescuing him to gain the trust of the family. Alberto introduces the Count to the most elitist circles of Paris, where he meets Danglars, now a baron and one of the richest bankers in Europe, Villefort, prosecutor to the king, and Fernand, now Count of Morcerf and an honorable military man. All have prospered since Dante's imprisonment. They are people of great reputation and wealth. With the Count's arrival, they all become intrigued by his figure and the mystery surrounding his name, but they do not detect that he is an old acquaintance. Mercedes, now married to Morcerf, is the only one who discovers his true identity but says nothing about it. Cadaris is the only one of Edmond's enemies living in poverty. Years ago, the Count had given him a diamond as payment for information about his enemies, but the precious object only fueled his ambition, pushing him to commit murder. In prison, Cadaris meets Benedetto, a clever and malicious young man who has committed numerous crimes. The Count, disguised as Lord Wilmore, frees both and uses Benedetto in his revenge against Villefort. Ultimately, Cadaris, unaware that Monte Cristo is Edmond Dantès, breaks into his residence to steal from him and is killed, as his accomplice, Benedetto, stabs him when he tries to escape. As Cadaris agonizes, the Count approaches to reveal his true identity, and with that gesture, his first revenge is fulfilled. The next revenge targets Count Morcerf. Fernand has become a military hero and married Mercedes, who is unaware of the betrayal Edmond suffered. The Count destroys Morcerf's reputation when he publicly reveals that the military man betrayed Ali Tebelin, the ruler of Janina, whom he was supposed to protect, in exchange for a fortune given to him by the Ottoman Empire. The disgrace of Fernand is so great that his wife and son flee, and he commits suicide. To take revenge on Villefort, the Count reveals the existence of an unacknowledged son, Benedetto, who is a fugitive bandit. It is also revealed that this son is illegitimate, conceived with Mrs. Danglars, and was buried alive at birth. Furthermore, the Count provides Mrs. Villefort with the means to poison her husband's relatives so that her son will be the sole heir to the fortune. When discovered by her husband, Mrs. Villefort poisons her son and then commits suicide. After all these tragedies, Villefort loses his sanity. Finally, to take revenge on Danglars, Monte Cristo takes out an unlimited line of credit at his bank and demands a large sum of money just as the banker is on the verge of bankruptcy. After cornering him financially, Monte Cristo asks thieves to keep him captive and charge him enormous sums for the food they provide. In this way, Danglars spends all his remaining money on food during 12 days of captivity. Ultimately, when Danglars is impoverished and aged, Monte Cristo reveals his identity and frees him. Once his revenge is fulfilled, the Count says goodbye to Mercedes, who retires to a convent while their son enlists in the army. He then meets Maximilian and reveals that he has saved his beloved, Valentine, the daughter of Villefort, and gives them part of his fortune so they can live peacefully and happily. After bidding farewell to his friend, Monte Cristo sets sail with an uncertain destination and disappears. This novel is not only a tale of action and suspense but also a deep analysis of the human soul and the limits of justice. Its complex characters, unexpected twists, and the fascinating portrayal of 19th-century French society have made The Count of Monte Cristo a work that continues to captivate readers of all generations. If you enjoyed this summary and want to learn more about other great stories, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, like the video, and leave a comment telling us your favorite part of this novel. See you in the next video.